Blooded Orchid Spring, the Ballad of Sarah Miller. Sarah Miller, a freckled 19-year-old with a penchant for vintage clothing and a scholarship to state, was humming along to The Cure on her cracked iPhone. It was March 12, 2018, 3:17 p.m., a Tuesday afternoon thick with the promise of spring break door. She was waiting outside the dusty boot thrift store on Elm Street in Albuquerque, New Mexico, thumbing through a dog-eared copy of Catcher in the Rye. Her friends, Jessica and Maria, were inside, supposedly finding festival outfits. Sarah was going to Daytona Beach with them, a pilgrimage to sun, sand, and questionable decisions. Life felt light, uncomplicated. Then, a red pickup truck idled to a stop at the curb. The truck, a late 80s Ford F-150, paint peeling like sunburnt skin, blocked the sidewalk. Two men, faces obscured by shadows and baseball caps, leaned out the windows. "Hey, wanna ride?" One of them drawled, his voice gravelly, reeking of stale cigarettes and something else, something acrid. Sarah shook her head, a reflex more than a conscious decision. "No, thanks. I'm waiting for friends." The man chuckled, a sound that sent shivers down her spine despite the desert sun. "They sent us." Before she could process his words, the passenger, a burly figure with a barbed wire tattoo snaking up his neck, hopped out. He grabbed her arm, a vice grip she couldn't break. She screamed, a high-pitched, desperate sound swallowed by the afternoon traffic. "Let me go." Jessica and Maria burst from the store, their eyes widening in horror. They screamed too, but it was too late. Sarah was shoved into the cab, the truck peeling away with screeching tires, heading east on Elm, then south, down a maze of alleys behind Central Avenue. A black sedan, possibly a Crown Victoria, and a beat-up Jeep Cherokee followed close behind. The pursuit felt orchestrated, terrifyingly precise. The ranch, a sprawling, isolated compound nestled deep in the Manzano Mountains, became Sarah's prison. The days bled together, marked only by the relentless cycle of fear and degradation. Her captors, members of a fringe cult called the Crimson Covenant, kept her chained in a damp, dirt-floored cellar. The leader, a gaunt man named Elijah with eyes that burned with religious fervor, spoke of purifying the land, of appeasing ancient gods with a blood offering. He called Sarah the Lamb. The torture was both physical and psychological. Sleep deprivation, waterboarding, ritualistic chanting that echoed through the night. On March 18, 2018, at approximately 11:00 p.m., Elijah gathered his followers in a makeshift temple. Sarah was bound to an altar, a crudely fashioned wooden table stained with what she prayed was animal blood. The ritual began, chanting and drumming, the glint of a ceremonial knife. Meanwhile, miles away, a state trooper at a routine checkpoint near Moriarty noticed the red F-150. The driver, sweating profusely, couldn't produce valid registration. A quick background check revealed a connection to the Crimson Covenant. Within hours, a SWAT team descended on the ranch. The chanting stopped abruptly. The doors crashed open. Elijah escaped into the mountains that night. His whereabouts remain unknown to this day. Did he simply disappear? Or did the Crimson Covenant find another lamb to sacrifice in the desolate wilderness?